ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the
welcome as Infinite take on Offset Esports. Now, few things to highlight before we get into this. So, caster, producer, and observer. So, if there's something in the chat, like people asking for the veto, please tell them. I will not be able to do it myself. I also don't have the perms to make a map command, so we're really trying our best here. As Infinite Gaming, they go to split around with a smoke, flash, and nade. Over on Offset, a little bit more util heavy, which has been expended fairly early on, with Snappy trying to get one of these opening players. For Infinite, we saw them earlier with a insane performance, but a few, I believe yesterday actually, where they just dominated. So hopefully they'll be able to keep up that form, that streak over on Nuke, with opening, a very clean opening there. Zoop's able to do the same. Chelsea does trade, but only momentarily. That bomb will go down for a 4-on-3 retake. Utility in the hands of Waz means that they do still have a bit to work with here. Chelsea demand to be tested. Flash goes out, swing to follow. Chelsea spotted out, however, it's Messi before Waz kills him. Flash able to follow up, leaving Snappy on the 1v3. Messi, good for the first, sees the second. Low HP on Waz makes this a very winnable round for him, but as both players try to take the fight, remember, there is no kits available for Infinite here. Snappy swings out, good for, well, at least good for the player defusing. It's Messi, but he's able to get it, and with no time, just like that, Snappy is able to secure the 1v3 and bring Offset the pistol round. That prediction from me, I am allowed to say. I honestly see this being an Offset 2-1. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if Infinite take it on the third map, but I don't think this is going to be a quick series regardless of the outcome. What about you, Rosie? Again, like I said, this is my stream, essentially. I can say what I want. That is up until Lucas, my boss, comes along and tells me off. But that hasn't happened yet, so we're in the clear. Offset. They move into their next round with the bomb plant. Rifles are going to come out round the board, bar the single Mac 10 in the hands of Snappy for Infinite Gaming. These guys are just custom CCT. It's not these guys, Noobage, it's me. Man, we've got the work ethic today. It's Infinite. They hold on to a couple of Deagles, the odd Scout, the odd MP9. It's a pretty strong force buy, and it's the Deagle from ZRK. A wonderful opening, but that is a mere silver lining. The rest of us that are able to convert their trades. Laos, good for yet one more though. 3-on-2, low HP on Snappy makes this very winnable. But winnable to what degree? Flash. That's our first player. Tags down Riz. Doesn't quite go for the second shot because Riz won't allow him. Also, bear in mind that being tenderized by the Scout means the 5-7 has a bit more impact here. Hoping for an angle to work with. Spotted out, Riz brings out a few shots. Not quite able to kill anyone though. Has in on this close angle, has Flash, good for the first. There's the attack coming, it's Messi, but he does convert it. Both players now, I believe, are one shot to the Scout, but there's no time. Flash will get the hell out of there. You really hope Infinite are going to win even from Romania. What is good luck, have fun in Romanian? I'll attempt to pronounce it. I do apologise, my Romanian is kind of bad. And Noobage, man, I've seen you in a few casts. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Are there still polar bears out in Canada? You have to take shelter at home. You know, whatever you're taking. I wish I had something to get me through every day of best of 3 castings. Unfortunately, no. Left, Dirit Saiva? Sava Dirit Sai. Dirit Strike? No. Close enough, I think. It's Flash. Good for the first man. Riz trying to double down. It allows to get the follow up though. Wow, that's another clean shot there. 4-on-3, man advantage for Infinite, but the low HP on Waz and Flash may mean this Mac 10 ruthless slacks. A clean reaction there. Nade's going to have right onto Flash as well. He has to back off to avoid it. Just buying a bit more space for Offset. So that bomb will go down uncontested for the time being. Very much for Infinite. They're on a full buy next round anyway. They might as well go for this. But save for the AKs is an option here. Of course, unavailable to the CT side. And Noobage, what you'll find, of course, Noobage, someone who's heard me cast a few times before, Rovi, something you may learn is I like guns. I like guns in general. And so, usually, Harry, my co-caster, is there to hold me back when we go on gun runs. There's no one here today. No one can save you from these gun rods. That bomb's going to go off. Offset. They'll open solidly with a 3-0 lead. Infinite now as they move into their full bite. I'm surprised Flash didn't go for a few exits. I mean, that scout. I'll be surprised if he holds on to it. Bear in mind, he has the option to go for the ult, but I mean, he has been hitting some solid shots so far. If not headshots, being able to tag players really can be enough, particularly when helping your team. Well, yeah, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I extend it to all of you guys. It's currently miserable in the UK right now. I'm due rain for like the next 4 days straight, but as is things in the UK. Infinite Gaming. They get ready for their rotation. Up through mid here. Teammates deployed. Slack's going to take a fair bit of damage, but he is able to get into vents. The question is, does someone pursue him? Zooks will do just that. There's the opening. Offset. Man advantage. Riz might actually join his teammate in vents there. Bold move to go through that smoke, particularly when there's, well, when it's de-blooming. Riz. Good for one. ZRK has been able to trade, but still a man advantage. But a two-man advantage as Snappy's flank comes into fruition. Waz for another. Laws. I actually don't know how we say that name. We'll just call him Zin. For Flash, saving the ult here is probably the most likely of decisions. Actually qualify for playoffs. Yeah, rainy and cold, as is the European weather, it seems. Something up for the AK. And I've said this a few times, Noobage. I'm sure you remember, because you listened to me. But, what you'll notice is, Offset, they're holding an AK-47. It's SO and CS, right? Wrong. That's not an AK-47. That's an AKM. Difference being kind of caliber, kind of build when it comes to the upper receiver, and the gas blocks a little bit further forward on the AKM. Volvo, please fix. Rename your gun. It's Offset. They go 4-0 up. Infinite Gaming with a full buy ahead of them now. Just about full buy. Flash can drop an M4. Waz can buy himself. And Waz is going to be a name that, if any English viewers are watching, they're going to take great pleasure in. Purely because Waz is... To have a Waz in the UK is to go to the toilet. So, I hope he knew that when he made the save. Users deployed. On outside. No one's been able to follow it up, though. Let's continue. Aggression comes in. Shelzy accompanying his teammates on outside. Let's make Riz to go for the first contact. There's the opening. Spots the player on top of Hut as well. And for Offset, once again, a solid opening. You can tell, do you know him? Oh, God. Dude. ZRK is caught out by Snappy. Two-man advantage for Offset here. Slack spots rotation. Lines them up. Solid 2K. Leaving Flash in a 1v5. Another round where an AWP is going to have to be saved. Offset, they start the series with a, well, bloody good form. I need to go 5-0 up. Flash is location revealed, and that's it. Gets a free kill. Dinked on the back of his head, his teammates reminding him that he's there, and maybe his teammates want kills as well. Offset that 5-0 lead. Solid as ever. With Infinite. Pistols, the odd bit of armor, the odd bit of util. Try and at least keep Offset back, maybe keep their money low, but the reality is Offset, with a performance like this so far, it's going to be more than just pistols to break this economy. They need 2-3 rounds on the bounce. And no AWP, surprisingly, on Offset. Sticking to this rifle investment, and with early positioning from Stacks here, the nade's going to land right on him, and 5-7s that draw blood. His pistol's looking very damn strong. Zin is able to trade for one, though, but only one. The lobby crunch, absolutely beautiful, and for Offset, it's 2-on-4 now. Maybe they rotate, and for Snappy, they'd be getting a bit lost. As Lalas will finish the job. Zin. We need to retake lobby, actually, rather than going outside. A brave endeavour. And luckily, Flash, the man who's looking to fight, is the one man who doesn't have armour here. Which he does timing favour him. Flash, just shoulder peeking where he can. Zin, the corner of him just spotted out there. His elbow pokes out. Here's the audio cue. Flash, the first to fall. Zin showing that he still bears teeth. Even though he may be solo, he'll be on for the ace here. If he was to clutch out this 1v4. Now there's opening single door. Moving his both attention and position. And while it's laboured by Zin, while it's messy by Laulas, he was able to secure that first round for Infinite Gaming. They put themselves on the board. The Romanian side looking to bring the pain. Coming out to outside. Zoots sorts out Chelsea. There's the opening. Untraded for the time being. Messy by Flash. Punished for it. As Riz is able to follow through. Zoots good for another. Infinite now. Finding themselves in a pretty strong position here on the 3-on-2. Riz onto ZRK. And that round from Infinite Gaming may appear to be a mere outlier rather than the start of a comeback. Maybe Roman's right. Maybe pistol rounds do be full buys here. Bomb going down just for the extra cash. And for Offset, I mean, they have the cash to actually hunt here. Which maybe what Stacks does. Unfortunately, Nuke, a fairly big map, and Suits ain't anywhere near them. If you, Noobage, what you done, bud? Don't tell me you bet on one of these teams. Suits spotted out. Suits also being tagged down and slowly being harassed. Does he shut down Riz? Yes, he does. A clean nade, actually. Shame we didn't see that. Also, director bullying us today. 6-1. Infinite with the full by double up setup comes out for Flash and ZRK. And then the well, as of about 20 minutes ago, the match I was just casting, we've seen teams, particularly Eternal Fire, actually shy away from the double up setup on the Season side. Right, there's that early molly. Here's the aggression. ZRK reveals himself. Flash does the same. Double up setup. Making yourself known to Offsets. But whether it be known, whether it be unknown, is it enough to shut down Infinite? With Snappy. They're taking through ramp here. Let's take a fight. Pops him out. There's the kill. Is a clean 2k for him, and all of a sudden Offset, they find themselves straight back into this round. Instead, okay, and Suits, bear in mind the limited money on Infinite. Saving's an option, but saving how many times? Oh, Noobage, I feel your pain, brother. I've done that in a bar once. We had, it literally just, not pop though, it was like hard spirits. I was very lucky I wasn't murdered that night. But we had a, I put one bottle back on the shelf, and it was like, yeah, you know, in like cartoons, when that one bottle was just a little bit too much. That's what I did, and the first shelf crashed onto the second, which crashed onto the third, which crashed onto the fourth, which fell to the floor. I've never been more embarrassed in my life. Offset, 7-1 lead here. Infinite Gaming. There was a few rounds to at least to make their T-side manageable. And you start winning them soon. Flash to outside, bit of a team flash, a bit messy. Riz looking to swing into the away from Zeus. Spots him out, does a bit of damage. Zeus. Nice angle to work with there. Means that you can't be headshot, but he's going to be tagged. He dumps a lot of the utility. Bear in mind, Infinite Gaming now with only a single smoke, only 2 Molotovs. It's not what you want here. Holy shit. 140 cans of Pepsi, man. That is a lot. Lawless sees a swing from top of hut. Caught out there. Now for the 3-on-3, that singular kill may have actually been enough there. Failed Molotov to heaven. Waz makes noise in lobby. Does he get caught out by Slacks? Yes, he does. 2-on-2. Make that 2-on-1 for Slacks. Spotted out by ZRK as well. ZRK, while laboured, is able to shut them down. Infinite Gaming, they make it 2. It's offset. While they do lead, they're going to try and make sure that Infinite's lead isn't established a little bit. Rove, back in the chat. Infinite about another round. Oh, man. Man, I like casting to smaller video games. I can talk to you. I'll get in trouble if I do that with Relog. It goes down the board and offset. Molotov's deployed. Going for outside control once again. Infinite now with a couple of weapons to spare. The odd bit of utility. Swaz. Where's that smoke? It's not all these Slacks. Backwards speaking. Good for ZRK. Flash sent back into round here. Flash. There's the response. 4-on-4 now. Offset slowly come back out from secret. Lala's maybe being the target of their attack here. He's played top of hut a fair few times now. Not once has it garnered any real control, bar getting one player before being caught out themselves. As they look to coalesce into lobby. Smoke maybe not landing as deep as Riz would like. Flashes though. Betray intention. Svaz looks to abuse a gap in the smoke. Sees the players cross though. He too may have been seen and he just shrugs it off. The secondary molly going to make his life a bit more difficult. There's a Stappy in heaven. Offset in a very good upper part position here. Flash reveals himself. Stappy with the opening. 4-on-3 now. Make that 3-on-3 with Waz able to follow it up. Good for one. Shellsy doubling down and with Riz following it up. Offset continue to start pummeling Infinite now. When we look at the util damage, you notice there's not much of it. Right now, this is all aim from Offset here. Actually, pretty surprisingly little amount of util damage. We see our first time out of the game. Here's the thing though, Rove. You're doing damage. Like, Shellsy, Slacks, Lows, and kind of all below 3k. The second you do connect 2 rounds in a row, Offset straight down to an eco. And it becomes very punishable. It's just getting to that stage. It's not enough, absolutely, at 8-2. Bear in mind that both teams, at least historically, have preferred their CT side. I assume that Infinite are playing with a new lineup. I don't recognize these names. Of course, I recognize ZRK and I believe Flash, but that's about it. How'd that Val gig go? It went really well, Nubage. The way Valorant works is you've got regional qualifiers, then you have the entire like area. So you have like Europe, APAC, kind of North America, South America, stuff like that. We were recommended for APAC. Unfortunately, because it was our opening gig with Riot, it was how do I describe it? We needed like approval from Riot, and it just came too late. We are approved by Riot; they liked us, and we did bloody well. The only issue is we just weren't able to get APAC in time. Hopefully for next season. But what it has meant is because we are kind of approved by Riot now, we can start expanding into stuff like go back into Europe. Because casting in Asia is fun, but yeah, we want to be in Europe. Believe it or not, we're European, so you understand our dilemma. About 3 months. Yeah, fair enough. I think when we last cast Infinite, it was a bit of an admin mistake, and they gave us, they called the other Romanian team Infinite as well. So we ended up, sorry to put you on the spot there, Houdini. But Houdini is a wonderful admin. But that explains why we have what is essentially a 5-man roster change. Val forever. Yeah, Val is, Val's been like Marmite for some people. They either really like it or they really hate it. I personally can't play it. Can't play it at all, but I can cast it, no worries. Val's more entertaining to cast than CS. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but there are a lot more pretty colours and stuff to shout about, whereas CS is a lot more methodical. Something that I did do, actually, on the topic of, well, I think we have a technical pause here. On the topic of guns, Nubage, I went to the firearm place, or like the armory near me, and we had a, what's pretty cool is, the way armories work in the UK is, if you go there for the first time, they, like, really, like, are on your back. So it's like, make sure you're pointing down range, make sure you, yeah, they load the mags for you, they sort of hand that and say point it that way. And literally, got my membership, and they sort of knew me and my friends. They knew that we weren't gonna, you know, like shoot people, and so they went. They sort of took us to the armory, and I felt like I was in Santa's workshop. They're like all these guns on all the walls, and they're like different ones of various arrays of disassembly on the on like the shelves and stuff like that. I honestly want to just lock myself in there and die happy, but yeah. So you know exactly what I'm on about. They sort of just went, which one do you want to use? It's like, I'll have that one. So I shot a CZ455 for a bit, which is a bolt action. Yep, bolt action straight pull. So it's like a scout, except you don't have to unscope to pull the bolt back. Infinite Gaming here. I think for their Force Buy, they were kind of hoping to stagnate a little bit, just so they were able to go for a timeout and use it as a pause. Unfortunately, wasn't quite able to happen, and I think we are going to face a round reset here, which explains why everyone's dancing around a bit. So, we do have a brief break. Yeah. I bet you must have, back when I used to live in, opposite the Isle of Wight, we had somewhere called the Solent, and that's the busiest waterway in the world. So I used to go to sleep with like all the foghorns and shit. I bet you've heard that. I bet that's how you hear it all the time. I'm trying to remember what each one means. I think 1 is left, 1 is port, 2 is starboard, 3 is straight ahead. I think 4 or 5 is just get the hell out of my way, I'm about to hit you. I could be very wrong there. Oh, usually I have Harry to fact check me, but I'll fact check myself. Oh, that's true. Winter in Canada sounds both lovely and horrible at the same time. I haven't decided which one it is yet. Offset. Going for a slow push into B here with Infinite Gaming. They rolled the dice on this stack, unfortunately. Didn't land in the right place. You've been around technology for too long, Nubage. plus you're a bit of a boomer, so I imagine it just gets to you with age. Offset. Gonna go 9-2 out there. I don't have too many aircraft over me. I was near 2 naval bases. I wasn't near any airfields. By the way, if anyone is planning on ever getting a house anywhere, make sure you have good connection to like everywhere. I've got some events in Sweden in a few weeks, and I've got to be like, I think it's 4-hour travel just to get out the UK. It's not pretty. I don't recommend it. Offset. 92 up though. Once again, Infinite, their pistol rounds just being shut down, but now they start to up the antics. They move to the full buy. We've got the Orb in the Hands of Flash here. Couple of M4s to wield as well. So this is a definitely manageable position. But let's see if it's one that's going to be able to stop Offset, who right now are on a pretty big roll. Zoots. The other side of the smoke. Deploys the odd nade. Snappy. Just able to avoid it for the time being. It's Infinite. Continues to just hover about the place. Shellsy. Quite looking into Flash yet. Spots him out. Tries to do a bit of damage. Quite able to do so yet though. Board out there. Flash continuing its momentum. Zoots. Spots out Snappy. Can't quite convert it. Eventually can in a laboured spray. Zoots backs off. Shellsy now. What can he hope to do? Rotating through CT here. Beautiful flank. He can catch ZRK and the Orpa, which would be perfect. Instead, only reveals himself for the Orpa. Shellsy, unable to double down with ZRK striking back. And another flank here from Lawless as Rosen falls down. Slacks, finished off by ZRK. Just like that, ZRK juggling weapons. They're able to give Infinite their third. Now, if it goes 9-3, this is very recoverable for Infinite. Very recoverable. But they need to get toward 9-3 first, which is where their biggest strain may be. One. Now Les. Follow it up. Now Les, even in the fire, he shuts down Snappy. For 4-on-2, all of a sudden Offset. Find themselves in a very tight position. And while CT side is maybe the easier side, you need to remember there are teams that prefer their T side. There are a lot of teams actually. Eternal Fire being one of them. I think Astralis Talent back. Maybe not now, but for a while they definitely have referenced their T side. So we've seen T side comebacks. So because CT economy is really easy to control, T side comebacks certainly aren't out the question. Zin though gets that bomb down, spots out the shoulder of ZRK. While Messi only tags him, unable to kill him. Eventually delivers that killing blow. The Orpa Flash can't quite spot him out in time. Transforms to Slacks. Offset. Almost converting the 2v4 here. Nubage, I've got to ask you, bud. Is it any good? Flash falls Offset. They go 10-3 up. So to remember though, this is Offset's map pick. They wanted to be here, so Infinite are playing on uncharted waters here. Still deployed in and around a lobby crunch. Snappy, good for one, doubles down there, wonderful flash, and they just melt Infinite. Zeus, I'm sure he hits a wonderful kill, but like silver linings here. Zira, I appreciate you want to see the maps. We don't have a maps command, and because I'm running everything, I can't send you the veto. However, it's our opening map of Nuke picked by Offset, then it's Inferno picked by Infinite, with our, I think, Ancient being our decider. There you go, Rove. I absolutely love you, man. Isn't that awesome? Oh, good on you, bud. Zera, I do extend the invitation to you as well, because I actually can't do anything when it comes to a when it comes to talking in the chat. If you could let others know once the veto comes up, that would be wonderful. That's a flash. Clean openings. 3 on 5 to continue. Make that 2 on 5. Flash now. Looking to make his inroads with this AWP, revealing exactly why he's been saving it these last few rounds. Or at least wherever possible. Shellsy, good for flash. So there's more to worry about. Waz falls. 3 versus 2. The flank of Zoots is good. Shellsy falls. All onto Zin now. 1 versus 3. Caught out by Zoots. And it's an 11-4 half. Certainly not pretty if you're a member of Infinite, but certainly recoverable. That being said, you need that pistol round. Offset, move to their CT side. Snappy having an incredible game so far. Currently going 16-9. Yeah, solid round from Offset actually. For Infinite. Utility is going to be there. 3 flashes, a smoke, and a molly to get them to wherever they deem worthy of their presence. Offset, though, armor on every single player. They're here for one thing and one thing only. That's to mess some kids up. Infinite on the rotation. Dive out. Riz good for the first. Sees the second. Can't quite convert it. While Messi, he does make it 2. Almost making it 3, actually. It slacks, actually, to get the third. 4 on 1 now. Lawless. For the first, sees the second, gets that second player, turns 180, can't quite make it 3, but he shows that you can't underestimate him. A glimmer of hope, while fleeting, is still shimmering in the distance. It's Offset, they go 12-4 up, Infinite. Moving into their next investment, I say next investment, it may be a single flash if that. Full eco has to be what comes from the Romanian side. Without a bomb plant, there just isn't enough money to go around. Resembling my bank account at the moment, actually. Is Offset. Offset. Prepare for a, what may be a fairly easy defense. Without being spotted through that smoke, slacks. A little bit close to comfort. Quite able to shut him down, though. The smoke from his teammate actually hindering him there. Need a beer. Man, I can do with a beer as well, Rose. You can't think one. Well, that's burst fire. Good for Riz. Set. Making it 13-4. Scat. Offset has an 85% win rate CT side. Over how many maps, though? And Rove, my question to you is, what's your go-to beer brand? I'm a suckler for Peroni. I am. However, I'm impartial to the odd Kronenberg. I bet Nubich has some great beers this year. Zoots, good for Snappy. 5 on 4. Rolls in. Close angle. Spots out the first, sees that second. It's messy though, and Waz will punish it. The XM 1014 on Riz here. Interesting choice of weapon. One that may garner him a bit of success, particularly on this close angle. There's that flash, there's the swing. Slacks while messy. Good for 1, tags a second. Riz can now upgrade to a rifle. Flowers has to get that bomb. And a 3 on 2. Offset. Smoke's being deployed. And something I quite like about Offset is these guys are old. Like, this is a team that have been together for a while. That being said, a few players I don't recognise. That being Zin. Potentially a brand of Offset Academy here. Mixed in with Offset players. Quiet around Nuke. Zales goes to the high ground here. Just catches him out. 3-on-1 here for ZRK. Yeah. Proving that facts don't care about your feelings. ZRK shuts down the first. Gets that bomb plant with 10 seconds left. I need to wheel for Slacks, but instead Chelsea actually pushes there a little bit preemptively. Slacks does a flash to wield. Question is, can he catch out ZRK? Slacks does just that. Offset. There you go, 14-4 up. If I'm Rove, I'm probably downing that beer at this point. Luckily I'm not, and I'm instead with Stone Cold Sober behind the mic. As Offset looks to continue this lead. 14-4, I am interested actually as to whether or not Infinite move into what will be a more aggressive stance, where they just push in, try and just punish Offset wherever they can, or if they end up just being ultra passive and hope that Offset pushes. Either way, a drastic change in playstyle needs to come out here from their first full buy. So they just don't have the rounds to play with. They lose this and their reset while simultaneously facing match point. Swings out. Waz, there's catch him out. Man advantage. 2-man advantage of Slacks uncharacteristically. Gets caught out with utility there. Scap being a statistician for this this game. It's snappy. Just up outside here. Zoot's not clearing him. This could be heartbreaking for Infinite to be outflanked like this. On the swing, ZRK. Daedra being caught out here. It's seen. Slacks drops down. Exceedingly I'm very surprised Slacks didn't get that kill. 2 players low on Infinite, but they do boast the 2-man advantage here. So he sticks into the lobby, catches out Chelsea. Solid shot. What about Snappy? Good for the first. Makes a noise as the open squeaky. Revealing intent, betraying intentions. That comes through. Zoots, man, he has some wonderful shots. Puts it all onto Zin. 1v4. Something tells me he will not be going for this. Dima, I hope you're having a wonderful day, brother. How do you say it in Russian? Is it Plivit Katkala? It's something like that. I hope you understood that, and I hope I didn't gravely insult you. Yeah. Offset now. 14-5. Infinite. Striking back. Question is that a silver lining? Or is that the dull war drums of a comeback? Offset. Couple of bits of util to work with, the odd pistol to manage, and that M4 on Slacks, that's their main piece of firepower. I like this booster and ramp as well. Unfortunately, ramp isn't going to be where's tested. It's outside instead. Okay, what a shot. Snappy falls. Man, advantage once again in Infinite's favour. So Offset on the force buy here are in danger, actually, of allowing Infinite to start really scraping back this half. Slacks spots out ZRK, one of the main killers of last round. Removed from play. Fortunately, that Molotov means the AK can't quite be retrieved. Slacks peeks up. Spotted out, finished off. As able to trade, and that's one of the main rifles gone for Offset there. Maybe a bit of over-ambition from the swing, granted. Zin and Briz are able to follow it up though, leaving Waz alone in a 1 versus 3. They know the location of one of the players, and they have an inkling as to the other 2. And with the bomb firmly in their control, this is by no means a lost round. What's being made. As they'll be able to get this bomb plant. They'll hear the Offset members rotating to him. Hides on the other side of the smoke. Actually makes a little bit of a one-way. Spots out the first, reveals his location though in the process, and unfortunately accuracy via quantity of fire falls into Offset's favour. So they go 15 to 5 up. Infinite Gaming running out of chances. Rove, I hope you have a fair few beers, because this could turn out to be a bit one-sided. Infinite call for a timeout, which I quite like. Zoots with a really nice karambit, actually. Do you know why a karambit is shaped like a karambit? It's because when fighting someone with a karambit, you're not meant to aim for the upper body. It's used for cutting the tendons on the back of the leg, and the tendons in the neck. Like, it's used to like nick people in just really bad places. So that's pretty cool. It's a nasty creation. Like that was created for like a cruel purpose of making sure people can't walk. Considering the knife crime in the UK, I'm pretty sure they're banned. Beetle's deployed, flash. Goes to the early swing, Riz caught out, Slacks trade, Slacks doubles down. Fast following up, snapping up, and saying the matter. There's the trades. Shelsey left in a 1v2. Is that okay? Catches him out. Infinite Gaming make it 6, and Scap, you could be right. Is the comeback to you? 9 rounds lead by Infinite. Blast is on today. Is it? Blast Rising, maybe? Stuff on their body, we know that is. Rove, no, Rove. The second I see that, I'm switching to a random player, so you don't know. Oh, Jackie's so good. I fan a bit over Jackie. That's holding the wrist. Another clean kill. Infinite. They seem to have Offset on dial here. Yep, I'm the observer, caster, and producer. Well, that's why I need you guys to talk to me, so I keep my sanity. This is also my third best of 3 of the day, so that's why I'm being a little bit lax with the casting. And Sin is left in a 1v5. Caught out by Lawless. What a shot by him there. Over Offset. Sure, it's a lead, but a lead for how long? Because they don't have cash, and for Infinite, that's something they will happily exploit. I hope it isn't a long match. I don't mind who wins this, so long as they do it in 2 maps. That's Offset. They get ready for another defense, only with mid pistols this time. Is that okay to shut down Slacks? Snappy. Caught out by Waz. I know ESL's on. Is it Blast Rising? It must be, right? Aggression from Lozen. Wants to swing around to the corner here. Seems to follow it up. Chelsea. Caught out. Oh, that's in Power Calls. Were you there when me and Harry did, what'd you call it? Last Time Rising. That was a fun one, actually. Orp comes out on Infinite here. This could be where, bear in mind, no Orp on Offset, limited utility, limited aggressive util, that being 2 nades, and that's it. It's Could be where Infinite mold their success. Slacks. Deploys that early smoke. Not quite able to catch someone out. Zin inviting Zooks instead. Trade comes through. ZRK in a position to try a retake. Odson shuts him down again now. Suddenly things getting a bit dire for Infinite. 2 players left in the 2-on-5. It's all on Lawless. 1 versus 5. Infinite shut down on map 1 as Offset open the series with a victory 16-8 on Nuke. We're going to go to a quick little break. When we return, we'll be seeing if Offset are going to be able to keep this momentum or if there'll be a comeback from Infinite over on Inferno.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and Bring that beat back.
Track it.
ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let them keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you also misery, it's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy when we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain.
I know my limits. You can break me down, but I will take till the finish line. I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. See you again.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. That it feels right. Feels right. So right, so right, so right.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, You and me are bored of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high on love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high on love. We're invincible. Trust in me. We're invincible. Don't you see? We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible.
Hello. I do apologise for the late start. However, we've got ourselves Inferno on hand. We have Infinite taking on Offset now. Having seen Offset do something, let's be honest, a little bit one-sided over on Nuke, it's good to see Infinite get that bomb down on their map pick of Inferno, of course, and look to really run Offset amok here. Third map, definitely a possibility. Our viewers in the chat thought so. For the 1v3, spots out the first player. Low HP on Flash makes this a winnable circumstance for him. But winnable for how long? Zooks already has the flank engaged. And with Flash just baiting Snappy in, he should be executed from behind momentarily. Zooks spotted out, turns to try and avoid the gunfire. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Infinite, let's take the pistol round. And at 1-0, Offset now. move to what will be their shaky bag. Of course, everyone, have you all had a wonderful break? For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Crabber3. I'm your caster for today. Think of me as like a pilot, almost. Your exits are here, here, and here. We do have a brief timeout though. What I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to quickly fix something with the stream. So we're going to go to the starting soon screen while we're in this pause. We'll be back just a second.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and Bring that beat back.
Right, we do apologise for that. Sorry about the brief delay, everyone. We should be able to get underway momentarily. Now, before we did come back, quickly check the stats. Offset, they go into this with a 0% win rate on Inferno. They played it 3 times. They've lost E-Super, Into the Breach, and another team. Infinite on the flip side, and we played it a fair few more times than with a little bit more success. Because of that, Infinite do go as this as favourites, but something to highlight is that while Offset are not the favourites, and while they have lost every map they've played, they've been able to make them very damn close as maps go. 16-11, 16-11, and then beforehand the 16-12. Great for gaming. Molotov thrown. Yeah, though. So they continue to try and get a bit of early action. Armour on these members of Offset, apart from Zin, who is slaving for that orb, which means the back tens may have a fun time tearing through them. Riz on a close angle, cross-firing with Zin here. Actually goes through a peak a bit earlier than I'd have liked. Instead, it puts a bit more pressure onto Slacks here. Forced off the angle, flashed off, picks up momentarily. Clean first kill, secondary flash is perfect as well as he doubles down. Secondary smoke means that weapons can be retrieved. Tutor continues to be fired. Valles. Accompanied by Maz and Zoots here. Looking to assault this B site, but Offset, they've read this very damn well. 3-man commitment to try and shut them down. As the smokes cascade around them. Valles to lead the charge. Dodges the first few players. Here's Eagle of Snappy. Gets that kill. And for Offset, I don't quite like how they dropped down from boost so early on there. Low HP on Shellsy and Flax means that this becomes a very winnable round for Infinite here. Flash will allow the exit from Shellsy. Spotted out by Waz, reveals himself on Banana. The Deagles look to continue their foray. Valles spotted out. Good for 1, good for 2. Make that 3 or 4k for Valles overall. And Infinite getting a 2-0 up, and it brings my attention back to Offset there. If you have 3 players stacked up outside B, you know they're moving B, you have the stack, why would you then only send 1 player to site? Infinite, they punish it beautifully. In fact, we see an early AWP come out on Flash here against the fully curve Offset, bar the Mag 7 on Slacks. Swag 7, an awesome gun. Unfortunately, maybe not the weapon of choice, as it is extremely situational. Waz annihilates Snappy there, putting all the pressure onto this Mag 7. Was it worth the investment? Probably not. Smokes get deployed to CT. And for the remaining members of Offset, they just don't have cash. It's going to be a matter of sitting, waiting, hoping they don't get finished off. But okay, swings out. Is in. Finished off. Zoots shuts down Chelsea. Offset. Move to their full by now, as they'll try to stop the momentum of Infinite. They can't. We could very well have a third map on our hands here. Ancients being our decider. Here. Snappy has to be careful. Slacks jumps across. Brave thing to do with Flash able to shut him down. Moves into a 3-player commitment to Banana here. This is in. Good for the first player. Equalising the man count. But for how long? Something to highlight as well is, while Infinite also play Inferno, they too haven't won a map on HLTV. With a loss, I think the most highlightable one is to For the Win, another Portuguese team, and then to Exalty, a French team, which they have no reason to lose to. Exalty, a team which I would actually rate worse than Infinite. Riz, good for another. Low HP on both Lowlers and Flash. Means that for the 3-on-2 offset, they need to be very damn careful here. Riz, slowly pushes up. Flash. Good for the first, knows there's a second coming. There's the double down, and for offsets, that'll be their first as Infinite Gaming go 3-1 up. Now, you look over, once again, to the investment of the members of Offset. A double upset that comes out. A Negev is maybe a misspy from them, and considering how they don't really have money to play with. There's no way Slacks picks up this Negev, is there? No, there isn't. Okay, my heart for a moment drove the first and last. Something tells me, man, you may need a few more beers, because this may be a very close game indeed. Double upset for Offset. It's a big gamble, actually, looking at how bad their economy is. Question is, can Flash stop him? Nice nade there from Snappy. He does a bit of early damage. ZRK gets ready to swing into him. There's that swing. There's the opening. Offset. Man advantage. There's the rotation. Counts back through to Banana. Infinite, good for the first. Looks to maybe even fake and execute to be here. Zoots deploying the odd bit of util over on A. This puts all the pressure over to Snappy and Slacks, the two men in charge of defending this B site. And for Infinite, they don't have util. It's a flash for, it's a smoke for CT in the hands of Flash. And that's it. The Molotov, timed to perfection from Slacks there. Snappy still has a smoke and flash of his own to play with. There goes that smoke. There's the counter flash. Wonderful counter flash at that. And Snappy reveals himself. Spots out the first player. Trade there by Zoots. And Lowlez shuts down Snappy. Achilles should not be getting it all. Mere seconds left on the board. Does not matter. Flash, another clean kill. Zin falls. Chelsea and Riz. M4s in hand. A gleam in their eyes. They're spring in their step. Unfortunately, that gleam is going to fade a little bit as they realise this is Infinite's round. Forza won the scoreline, and for Offset, this is where things get a little bit worrisome. I think actually realised realizing that offset misbought a negative there. Is going to leave them to their own devices as they back off. Out more useful planned by offset with a glass cannon AWP in to try and combat that flash. Gonna be a brave decision. Valor's whiffing his flash a little bit. Luckily though, with the AWP being glass cannon, Zin isn't really going for a fight here. He's taking his time with it. Snappy, assisted by the util of his teammate, goes for banana control with the AWP poised in apps there. Spots out the first player. There's the opening. Zoots falls down, man advantage. The rest of Infinite, though, looks to use this as an opportunity to start their dive over to Way. It may be a freedom dive, but Chelsea proving any hope of freedom. Whereas there a bit of a miscom onto the second player's whereabouts. Chelsea now able to push to the other side of this smoke. He sees it's clear. He'll be able to convince the rest of his team that this is going to be a hit to B. Unfortunately, the knowledge that's a hit to B, can they really do anything about it? Infinite. Opt to fake. Chelsea realizing this, goes back to library. Pressure all on Riz here. Snappy sees it's clear. Can he rotate in time? Does offset scramble their way onto this site? .30 seconds left. Flank coming onto Waz as well. Once that flank lands, it's now onto Owlers. Caught out by Chelsea. 1 versus 3 now for Flash. 20 seconds left. He might be able to get to B and plant in time, but for a 3 versus 1 retake, this could be a tall order. 10 seconds on the dockets. Flash. They're 5. Won't have... Oh, actually, maybe have time. Yeah, didn't think he would. And Flash... not quite able to convert on B there. Offset, they make it 2. Keeping it level pegging for the time being. As Infinite, assisted by the bomb plant, will be able to force by relatively well. Flash can drop. Ladders can buy on his own accord. Dual Barrettes come out from Zeus. The worst guns in the game. Categorically no reason for them to exist or be purchased. He falls. Zin shuts down Flash. Spots out the other players in mid. Gonna double molly the AWP, but ZRK's already been able to retrieve it. Peeking through mid. Zin shuts down ZRK. His arse sticking out. That's what happens if you have a dump truck. Zin looks to make it 3. Not quite able to find the 4th. Malice does trade, but his teammate's there to get the repartee. Now, without an AWP, Malice, he has the option to buy an AWP for his teammate with a mean glowing glass cannon. And Infinite, I like this. Calling the timeouts fairly early. Mac 10 in the hands of Waz. Not the weapon of choice, but it does free up the option to get utility here. Offset. moving for early banana control. Nays deployed, Nays stack just lands between the two CTs, and with a beast rush here, Slacks doesn't go through it. The flash helps, good for the first, through the smoke, can't quite find the second, eventually does, with Snappy on the third, and heartbreakingly, the bomb rolls effectively through the smoke. The nade, Orbital makes it 4, and for Waz, they'll be finished off by the AWP. Infinite, they go for a bit of a hybrid strat. There goes for the fast speed play. I like it, it's new, it's fresh. Fortunately, it's just not what we're after. As Offset, they equalise at 4-4. They force Infinite down to a fairly bad bye. And Rove, I'm sorry, buddy. This could be Offset's road to the path to victory. It's fine, I'm already crying. Shells in Slacks, good for 2. Puts them to the 3-on-5. Nice. There from Snappy. Can't quite find the remaining player. Flash actually has complete reign over B here. He just doesn't realise it. And because of that, Slacks will have him caught off. As will Shellsy. Clearing the angles. Fastidious as ever. Offset. They take the lead at 5-4. Infinite. They have money to move down to their full bite. Flash able to get that AWP armor as well to try and challenge Zin, who is having a pretty good game so far. Utils expended, Chelsea. I'll follow up on one of these players. Hasn't done so yet. Util keeps getting deployed. Chelsea in mid. Makes the spread the zone on long, and he's had a pretty good long hold throughout this game. The Slacks assisting banana control in retaliation. Snappy on the shoulder peak. He knows there's players on B, he just doesn't know how many. That nade will land right on Waz as well. Bit of extra damage. Flash for Snappy to peek. Still unable to get the opening. Gunfire's exchanged on either side. Zoots on the flash. Continues for Apps control. And Infinite, they are inch by inch getting this control over the map. But for Offset, they seem to have read Infinite's intentions very damn well. With a 4-man commitment to A. Just as Infinite prepare their attack. ZRK set up with Waz. Long execution deployed. But for Zin and Slacks, can they stop them? Instead they play backside. I actually quite like the call to go backside here, because you have the players in pits of crossfire with, and you just need Zin to survive. Flash, he's caught out by Shellsy aggressing into shorts. They're now shoehorns to wrap around through long here, making noise. Waz is revealed. Slacks good for one more. Slacks can't quite double down, but luckily, Zoots. Perhaps quite solid shots from him now. 3-on-2. Punish Sin, and the pre-fire is good. Snappy up from short, spotted out. ZRK finishes the job. And Infinite equalise at 5-5. It comes after a bit of a losing spree, but they're able to strike back, slap back, and show Offset they know what's up. Another timeout called. Early aggression towards B here. Flash. Trying to catch out the old player. Slacks also aware of the jump spot. Then okay, jumps up. There's the opening. Snappy maybe overstaying his welcome there to try and get the spam through the smoke. Because of that, he's going to be legged. But for Infinite, banana control, at least top banana control still established. Zip, flicks to boiler, Zoots to fall. As the rest of Infinite just slowly make their way through this smoke. As smokes off CT. Questions heard, Snappy. Spots out Waz, good for the first, he hears the second as well, instead just spams for the second, allowing Snacks to punish the third angle, and the confidence is there. He'll go straight through that smoke. Flash finished off. Offset will be able to retrieve that up. And take the lead at 6-5. Unfortunately, viewers, we are going to have to tab out to ban the twat who's spamming in the chat. Do apologise for this. Just pretend we didn't have the FPS drop. There we go. Infinite. Going for a early push here. Into outs. They made noise on their control. Grenade stack. Won't quite land on them. Falling a little bit short, but Shellsy backs off a little bit, knowing what could be coming. Slacks heads back to site as well. This is what we've seen from Offset. They have read Infinite's intentions very damn well. This actually going to collateral on the M4. Stops out at the last minute. Heads over to the PQK. Chelsea, through his teammate, will shut down Zoots, giving Offset that 7-5 lead. Infinite now struggling to maintain composure in this half. Go for a full buy, but they don't have anything in the bank. If Offset win this, they could be setting themselves up for a 9-6 or 10-5. Remember, this is all off the back of a 16-8 victory on Nuke. First. Aggression is coming through mid here. It was cancelled from Offset. And for Infinite, their attempt to trade is going to fall with it. Waz low HP. Luckily, the nade won't quite land on him, but it will land on Flash, though, who has to tank that nade. The molly as well. Forcing him out of position. The Flash is good. Offset their utility. Doing so much damage to Infinite right now. Snappy just through the wall. Already low HP players. Good to convert. On for the ace now as Zeus rares the swing from T ramp. Here's the rotation. Make sure the ace isn't possible. But Slacks is there to clean up the debris. As Offset go 8-5 up now, really starting to chain rounds together, really starting to build a lead. And you look at the util damage, particularly on Snappy, Chelsea, and Slacks. These guys, they know their nades. There's Infinite. Set up once again for this defense. Let's say defense, even though they're on their attack, it appears that, particularly on B, they're just playing retake for it. A couple of nades, the odd molly, the odd flash, the odd smoke. I mean, sure, it's upgraded pistols, but it's not round-winning stuff, unfortunately. Well, Snappy, here's util will miss. The nade makes up where the molly didn't, though. Tech Knight from Waz catches them off guard. Slacks good for one, left on very low HP as well. That nade will land right onto ZRK. Slacks dumping that utility, knowing full well he needs help. It's all on Zoots now. A lone man with a flank. Offset, they just go quiet. A minute to toy with here. Only a single flash on Infinite. And a man advantage. The nade can land right onto Lowless as well. Well, not too much damage, but once again, it's Offset's utility that are really harassing and haranguing Infinite. Losing the player in Boiler means Infinite have no choice but to push through to B here. As they do just that, Slacks spots them out. Zin, good for the first. Lawless, can he get away? No, he can't. Zin, a 3k from him, saving the low HP members of Offset. They go 9-5 up. What's been a monumental comeback, actually, from Offset. Bear in mind that they were 4-1 down at one point. They need to go 10-5 up. Infinite. A spanner in the works has been thrown their way. Hopefully, Infinite have just as strong a CT side as Offset do. Otherwise, they may be in deep, deep trouble. Chelsea, nade down mid. A lot of damage onto Flash. The Orpa already tagged. A leg shot no longer an option. Flash is short though. Has Flash into oils in. And there is that opening. Smoke landing on long. Countered by Riz. That volley even deterring Offset from swinging into these. You look at the stack from Offset as well. All 4 members committed to fighting for A here. The smoke gets an absolute slaughter as Riz is left in a 1 versus 2. Luckily that man advantage. Continue their success. Flash onto Riz. Brings Infinite 6. 9-6 the scoreline, and well, the Rove, you may have been in deep trouble. Luckily, a rope is being flung your way. Infinite absolutely can do this. They just need a little bit more momentum. Yeah, Diesel. Expended. Wow, it's caught out by Shelzy. A hell of a shot from Shelzy there. Now let's good to trade. 4-on-4. Offset. Playing their rotation here. ZRK onto Riz. It's going to leave a scary precedent. Slacks in this close angle. Is he suspected, though? He's got a crossfire with Shelzy to worry about. Slacks messy. Caught out. Shelzy having to go thermonuclear here. Particularly when alone. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Infinite Gaming, they're going to be able to make it 7 as they inch their way back into level pegging with Offset. Let's go. Rove, you may be absolutely right. Sorry, I do apologise. Let's ducking go, as Rover said. Infinite. Well, they are currently 2 players down, or 2 rounds down even. They have a pretty good buy here. Offset matching it because they do have that bonus from the bomb plant. 2 AKs, an Eagle, a Scout to match 3 M4s and 2 MP9s. Not sure if the stream's sounding funny. I'll be fucked if I know, so that probably answers it. Wow, this takes a bit of early damage. It's Offset. Stack up in mid. Is that okay? Boys the Flash. Stacks rotates around this corner. Molly, gonna have right on him there. Forces him out of position. Offset. Maintain this passive stance. For one, Slacks trades. Flash follows up. Zin's get the next say on the matter. All of a sudden, Infinite relying very heavily on this crossfire, and now they've actually let the ball pass. This could prove to be a big mistake. He's caught out. And now Waz for the 1 versus 2. Now, Low HP on Riz and Lawson makes this very, very possible. But that MP9, it needs to be damn accurate. Playing head glitches for Offset may be their true advantage and their friend here. It was a slow rotation from Waz's Ugu's. What a name. Ugu, as Carly pointed out. A Yugu? Is that how I say it? Anyway, Waz makes his presence known. Here's the first AK. Doesn't know where the M4 is, though. Goes to the high ground. Jumps up. Good for one. Zin's there to trade. Offsets. They go 10-7 up. Look at the money as well from Infinite. This is a really dire position to be in, because this is where you could be reset. Okay, good for one. Trade. Not quite there yet. Snappy. Good. Unfortunately for Lausa, trade. Unfortunately, ammo. That's Lausa's biggest killer. 3-on-3. Offset. A round which really shouldn't be this close. It's being contested by Infinite. Flash reveals himself. ZRK onto Riz, and that Galil proving to be the really scary part of Infinite's retake. Chelsea going to aggressive to Zeus actually. Takes a moment to hesitate before getting that kill. Zin on the follow through gives Offset the 11th. 11-7, Infinite. They move to their full eco as Offset continue to extend this lead even further. And I'm sorry to say it, but Infinite, they are running out of chances right now. That's not very nice. Infinite. Fully coped. Dive down mid. Only so much they can do with USPs, but honestly, 2 kills, maybe 3. Really ain't too bad for a full eco. You're looking to inflict damage. Granted, there aren't many rounds left of the game, so it is getting a little bit squeaky bum time for them. Salas, I think, umming and ahhing about the glass cannon AWP there. Ops against it. Rifles on both teams here. Flash, the first player. Dives the second mid here, but this has been heard. Riz, what a position to be in. Zin's good for the first. Riz hopes for the timing, and timing he shall get. ZRK reveals himself an apps there. Riz doesn't quite react. Swaz and CT on B. Also caught out now. 4-on-2. Offset continue their assault. While ZRK is on the flank. It may not matter for much. Chelsea finishes the job. Just like that. Offset. They go 13-7 into the lead. Worrisome time ahead if you are a member of Infinite. With Deagles in hands, there's got to be something that goes their way. One jump spot mid, the nade. Get a harangue. Is that okay? But won't kill. Really acknowledge presence. Tries to follow up onto ZRK, hits him low, but falls down very low on HP himself here. Infinite, considering the bad buy they have, they're doing a really good job at keeping position and keeping HP of Offset low. Snappy, good for one. Does he expect the second player? So it's like Riz will clear it anyway. Zoots falls. What a clear by Riz there. Some insane game sense. Through mid. Now let's finished off. Waz On for the 1v5. As Zin will be the man to try and stop him. Offset. 14-7. The playoffs going to be played today. I don't know, Rove. I'm not scheduled to be casting anything more after this, so I imagine not. I think it's 2 games tomorrow and 2 games the day after, if I'm not mistaken. Or 3 games tomorrow, 1 game the day after. Either way, I'm pretty sure this is the final game today. Fairly certain. Infinite. Brings the orb out onto Flash with ability to work with. Now let's deploy that up. Smoke lands behind it. Chelsea has to be careful here. The Flash is deployed. Blinding Malice actually dinked by his teammates. Risk it for 1. Risk doubles down. Chelsea and Snappy, they finish the job. Oh, it's a collapse. What can Zoots hope to do now? 1 versus 4. Yeah, it's a nice kill onto Riz, but it may not matter. I think so. What I'll do, mate, is stick around after the stream, and I'll check for you. But I'm fairly certain that's the format. Offset. They go 15-7. Into the lead. Infinite now with a, let's be honest, not a pretty buy ahead. Couple of MP9s. There's the odd M4 on Zoots, but that's about its wield against Offset. Portuguese team. Prepare for banana control. They need the close angles with these MP9s. For Chelsea, he's good for the first. In fact, able to double down. The molly finishes the job, though. Over and out. While Messi, Riz finishes Flash off. 4-on-2. This could be the beginning of the end. The nade is what kills Salax. And the Zoots is the bullets, which is what finishes him. Offset, they take the series 2-0. 16-8 and a 16-7 on Inferno. Commiserations to the members over on Infinite. Now, don't go anywhere. I'll let you know the schedule for tomorrow. It looks like we've got Nexus versus Offset tomorrow, and ECB versus Eclot, and then the grand finals are played day after tomorrow. So there you go, brother. So 2 semi-finals tomorrow, grand finals the day after. And no worries, man. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I've been Newcastle Chroma 3. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame.